There is a great demand for benevolent investment, clean technology, investment into the new economies that do not pollute, that do not kill, the future that we want. And so since then, I've been looking very hard at how can we channel more of those resources. And around the globe, these supply chains that are more benevolent are struggling to find resources, even though there is $2 trillion right now pledged to do impact investing. This is, carbon-free investing, cruelty-free diamonds, et cetera, et cetera. And so what we've figured out here, after many, many months of research, is that the blockchain technology can allow us to channel resources in this way. I call this the smart path. The smart path is a series of investment designs and policy directives to channel resources into the new economy. And it starts off with this. First, you have to expand asset classes and increase capital. All over the world, from China to California, infrastructure needs are great, and debt is high, and capital is condensed. We need to open up capital and expand markets and expand people's opportunity to participate in markets and create new assets for people to own. So these become microbonds in the blockchain. The second element is you need to identify pathways into the future by making new supply chains and pre-programming them. So pre-negotiating contracts along a supply chain that you want, that's benevolent, pre-negotiating and then programming them on the blockchain. These are smart contracts. And with the smart contract, you then front-load investment that could come from the people earlier that we've now given assets to via microbonds, front-load that investment onto the chain in a programmable currency. These are smart currencies, and they go where they're supposed to go. They go to this company that does not pollute, and this company here that picks the right cotton, whatever, and this company that makes the sea level not rise, and therefore you shift economies over. And the third element is data autonomy. So right now, every individual, and this is important data, every individual, at least in America, their data is traded more than 170 times per day, sometimes more. And so if you could harness the power of AI and the blockchain to track it, each person could have their own agent, their own AI bot operating in that space for them, bringing them money. This is how you get basic income. $200 per month you could earn from your own data. And then if many of us group together, we could pool our data together and have a whole new asset class like mortgages and float the world economy another 50 years. So in Berkeley, we now have a proposal to prove this out. And last night, we were at City Council late last night discussing it, and we'll be voting next week to pass it. It's called the Community Microbond Initiative, the Berkeley Microbond Initiative. The name keeps changing, but it's microbonds. And here's how it works. The City of Berkeley will issue bonds via the blockchain to people. And the advantage of the blockchain to issue bonds is that it cuts out Wall Street. It lowers the price tremendously. So therefore, you can be more targeted with your investment. You can move from just doing a $100 million sewage system to doing one building, one affordable housing building, one senior center, one row of trees in a block, one park. And because you're also disintermediating it, and the blockchain is so precise, you can lower the cost of a bond. Right now in America, a municipal bond costs $5,000 in the minimum, usually $100,000 or more. So no one can own one. But now with the microbonds, you can make them $25, even down to $1. So in that instance, you've solved for the asset problem. Ordinary people can own a financial asset that is used to construct a physical asset that they can also own through a shared ownership or fractional ownership. So that's huge. Second, the interest payments from the bonds can come in the form of a local currency, a smart token to be used in Berkeley, at local Berkeley stores. This is important because 2019, we're supposed to see the most store closings in U.S. history. Empty storefronts, blight, poverty. Poverty is returning. So one way to do that is to drive committed capital into local stores via the local currency. So the smart token is programmed to only be used in these stores, in this place, for this fashion. And because it's also meant to be for homeless people, instead of giving them money, you give them the smart token, they can use it, but they cannot use it for vodka or for cigarettes or anything bad, only things good. This proves out the smart contracts and smart currency from the earlier plan, the smart path. And third, the token, as you use it with stores, is packed with your data. And the token is programmed to hold that data and not give it out to vendors without your permission. And this is how we prove out the concept of data autonomy. So the smart path to transform the global economy, to move from pollution and war and division to one of green and love and benevolent economies, that $2 trillion you mentioned earlier, happens through this little thing we're doing in Berkeley called the Microbond Initiative, with distributed assets, smart currency, and data autonomy. And also, I'm seeking to go to office to change the laws to make it possible, because the laws in America are ready for this, but they're stuck because the incumbent players are withholding them. So now is our chance to transform them legally and financially. My name is Ben Bartlett, and I'm so grateful to be with you right now. Thank you so much.